Imagine a world where the global supply chain no longer revolves around China. What would that mean for the global economy? In this era of escalating geopolitical tensions, many companies are choosing to lessen their exposure to China. This trend, known as de-risking, is essentially a strategic move to relocate supply chains and investments away from China. Why is this happening, you ask? Well, the reasons are manifold. For some, it's about reducing dependency on a single nation. For others, it's about navigating the choppy waters of international diplomacy. But at the end of the day, it's a risk management strategy. American companies are leading the charge in this de-risking movement. Take, for instance, tech giants like Yahoo, LinkedIn, and IBM. These are companies that have long established their presence in China, but they've recently announced plans to pack up and leave. The U.S. foreign direct investment in China, in fact, has significantly dwindled since its peak in 2008. Now, this doesn't mean that these companies are withdrawing from the global scene. Far from it. They're simply rerouting their investments and supply chains to other nations. We're seeing a rise in friendshoring and nearshoring, where companies are shifting their operations to countries that have closer geopolitical or geographical ties with them. Think India, Thailand, Vietnam, Mexico, and Canada. This shift is not just about distancing from China, but also about enhancing supply chain resilience. But here's the twist. De-risking from China is not without its own set of risks. There's a real concern that China might retaliate with import bans and restrictions, which could stunt future economic growth for these companies. And then there's the challenge of finding new markets to replace the massive consumer base in China. As we see, this shift away from China is more than just a business decision. It's a geopolitical maneuver with vast implications. As we move forward, it will be interesting to see how companies, governments, and economies navigate this new world order. As companies pull away from China, they are not just looking for new homes, but for friends and neighbors. This shift in focus is giving rise to two significant trends in global business: friendshoring and nearshoring. Friendshoring is the practice of moving supply chains to countries that share similar values, political systems, or strategic interests. It's about creating alliances and partnerships based on shared goals and principles. Countries like India, with its democratic governance and burgeoning tech scene, are emerging as popular friendshoring destinations. On the other hand, nearshoring involves relocating supply chains to countries that are geographically closer. This strategy can significantly reduce transportation costs and delivery times and increase supply chain resilience. For American companies, Mexico and Canada, their immediate neighbors, are becoming attractive nearshoring destinations. But why this sudden shift? The answer lies in the concept of supply chain resilience. In a world where global supply chains are increasingly vulnerable to disruptions, from trade wars to pandemics, resilience is key. By diversifying their supply chains, companies can better weather these storms and ensure the continuity of their operations. Friendshoring and nearshoring allow companies to build more robust and flexible supply chains. They can tap into the strengths and capabilities of their friends or neighbors, whether it's India's tech talent, Thailand's manufacturing prowess, Vietnam's competitive labor costs, Mexico's proximity to the U.S. market, or Canada's strong intellectual property protections. However, it's important to note that this isn't a simple case of packing up and moving. The decision to friendshore or nearshore involves careful consideration of various factors, from labor costs and regulatory environments to infrastructure and geopolitical risks. It's about finding the right balance between cost, efficiency, and risk. Indeed, the shift to friendshoring and nearshoring is reshaping the global economic landscape. But as with any major change, it comes with its own set of challenges and risks. Companies need to navigate these carefully to make the most of their new friendships and neighbors. As we will see in the next scene, the risks of de-risking are as real as the benefits. The shift to friendshoring and nearshoring is reshaping the global economic landscape, but it comes with its own set of risks. De-risking is not a risk-free strategy. It brings its own set of challenges and potential pitfalls. As we step away from China's economic reach, we open ourselves to a possible backlash. China, a global powerhouse, could retaliate with import bans and restrictions, throwing a wrench into the global economic machinery. This could significantly harm future economic growth for U.S. companies who have for years relied on the Chinese market. Moreover, the market risks are palpable. Chinese consumers who once clamored for U.S. goods are turning their backs. Brands that once flew off the shelves are now gathering dust. This shift in consumer preference is a clear sign of changing times and a stark reminder of the potential dangers of de-risking. But let's not forget, every cloud has a silver lining. This market shift presents an opportunity, a necessity even, for U.S. companies to explore new markets. Emerging economies brimming with potential are scattered across the globe, from the bustling streets of India to the vibrant markets of Africa. However, moving into new markets isn't a walk in the park. It requires a deep understanding of the local culture, consumer behavior, and market dynamics. And it necessitates building new supply chains, establishing new partnerships, and navigating unfamiliar regulatory landscapes. Let's not underestimate the challenge here. It's akin to learning a new language, acclimatizing to a new climate, and making new friends all at once. It's a daunting task, but one that could yield significant benefits if done right. In essence, de-risking is not just about reducing exposure to risks, but also about embracing new opportunities. It's about finding the right balance, making strategic decisions, and constantly adapting to changing circumstances. De-risking, thus, is a double-edged sword, bringing with it both potential benefits and risks. It's a journey fraught with challenges, but one that could lead to new horizons and untapped opportunities. As we continue to navigate the complexities of de-risking, let's remember that it's not just about avoiding risks, but also about seizing opportunities. After all, in the world of business, risk and opportunity are two sides of the same coin. The complexity of global supply chains increases as companies diversify their suppliers. This complexity necessitates a clear view of the entire supply chain. As firms scatter their supply chain across multiple countries, they are faced with a unique set of operational challenges. Each country has its own regulations, labor laws, and cultural nuances. This means that companies must adapt their business practices to each different environment, adding layers of complexity to their operations. Moreover, managing suppliers spread across various countries can be a daunting task. It's like juggling multiple balls at once, each with its own distinct rhythm. If one ball drops, it could potentially disrupt the entire flow, causing delays, increased costs, and a loss of customer trust. This is further complicated by a lack of transparency. Many companies lack visibility beyond their second-tier suppliers. This means they often don't know who is manufacturing their components or where their raw materials are coming from. This lack of visibility can make it difficult to manage quality control, ensure ethical labor practices, or even just maintain steady production schedules. And this is where the importance of supply chain traceability comes into play. Traceability is the ability to track goods from their point of origin all the way through to their final destination. It's like having a GPS for your supply chain. It can help companies identify bottlenecks, anticipate delays, and respond more quickly to disruptions. But beyond just managing operational risks, traceability is also about accountability. It's about knowing that the products you're selling are not only of high quality, but also ethically produced. It's about being able to assure your customers that your goods were not made in a sweatshop or with child labor. In the era of de-risking, supply chain traceability is no longer a nice-to-have, it's a must-have. It's the key to navigating the complex web of global supply chains and ensuring that your company can weather any storm. The success of de-risking largely depends on how well a company can trace its supply chain and manage its operational risks. Government support and international alliances are crucial to mitigate the risks of de-risking. As we navigate this era of geopolitical tension and economic realignment, the role of governments and international alliances in supporting businesses can't be overstated. Governments have a powerful toolkit at their disposal to help companies manage the risks and challenges associated with de-risking. This can range from providing subsidies to incentivizing companies to reshore their supply chains, to implementing policies and initiatives that foster a conducive business environment. Take, for instance, the reshoring of supply chains. This is a complex process that involves a significant amount of capital investment and operational adjustments. To ease this transition, governments can offer financial incentives such as tax breaks, low-interest loans, or direct subsidies. These financial supports can significantly reduce the financial risk and burden for businesses, making the transition more manageable. But it's not just about financial support. Governments can also play a pivotal role in creating a favorable business environment that attracts investment. This could involve streamlining regulations, investing in infrastructure, or fostering innovation and skills development. These initiatives can help make a country more attractive for businesses looking to diversify their supply chains away from China. And then there's the role of international alliances and trade agreements. These are crucial in facilitating trade and supply chain management, particularly in this era of de-risking. By forging alliances and negotiating trade agreements, countries can provide businesses with more certainty and stability, which are crucial for long-term planning and investment. For example, trade agreements can lower tariffs and remove other trade barriers, making it more cost-effective for businesses to trade with partner countries. International alliances, on the other hand, can foster collaboration and coordination among countries, helping businesses navigate the complexities of global supply chains. In essence, the path to de-risking is fraught with challenges, but with the right government support and international alliances, businesses can navigate this path more effectively. In the face of the de-risking trend, it is clear that strong international collaboration and government support are key to navigating this new economic reality.